But since I started talking about CannaSense to people in these circles, I've gotten a lot of them are very valid concerns about CannaSense.
What is it actually?
Okay. Well, CannaSense, switching gears. CannaSense is a great program. And I don't work for them, so I'm going to preface that. I don't work for CannaSense. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. They do not sponsor me or whatever. I'm just a guy who went through the program and saw that it works, see the value in it, and how it could do a lot of great good for a lot of people. And so I'm talking about it, and I'm talking about my personal experience with it. CannaSense is a cannabis collective total wellness community. I believe that they come out of California, and essentially what they do is these guys, they know that cannabis is a medicine. They believe in the healing power of cannabis. They want to see people get better, and they know that the issue is access to their medicine in a lot of places in this country. And so what they did was they used the law against the law. And so it's predicated on three laws, or three pieces of legislation. Of course, you have the Fourth Amendment, which is the Reciprocity Act, which basically says states have to adhere to the judicial rulings of other states, even if your state's laws are different. Okay, so you have that, and then you also have what's a California law called the Compassionate Use Act of 1996, which, in short, basically says you got to let people have access to their medicine, man. Okay, so it's a California law. So the trick or the linchpin is how do you get California law to set precedent in a state where it's criminalized, like here in Georgia? Well, Obamacare, or the Affordable Health Care Act, allowed, and even if Obamacare is repealed, telemedicine is not going to go away. And basically what it introduced is that if you visit a doctor in a different state, it is as if you become a patient of that state. Okay? So what CannaSense did was they took these three linchpins here, these chains, and they said, okay, how can we use these three to get people access to their medicine legally, okay, and safely and discreetly and affordably? And so they started CannaSense, and essentially I sponsor people. I'm a caregiver, so I basically walk people through this process. And anybody who's listening that's interested, you can go, the best place to go right now is downloadedcontent.com, which is my website. And there's a tab at the top that says CannaSense Total Wellness. If you click on that, you're going to read my testimony. There's also a passage in there from the CannaSense website that talks about the legalities, which is how this is legal. Okay. There's also a contact form at the bottom, so anybody listening, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you need me to sponsor you or walk you through this process, go there now and do it now. Don't wait. Do it now. And essentially, here's the process. You can either become a patient, which is fantastic, especially if you're in a state like Georgia. You can become a caregiver, or you can become a full member. And essentially, if you become a patient, what I'll help you do is walk you through setting up a video appointment with a doctor in California. I recommend Dr. Nagayan. It's a company called Presto Doctor that works with CannaSense. They don't work for them, they work with them. And so basically, the steps are very easy. I'll walk you through setting up your appointment, and as long as you have Skype capable stuff like a camera and a mic on either your smartphone, tablet, or your computer, you can do this. You schedule your appointment, and there's a preset amount of conditions that you can kind of evaluate where you're at. Do you get migraines? Do you have insomnia? Do you have trouble digesting food? So we have things on that end of the spectrum all the way up to, do you have cancer? What is it essentially that you need cannabis for, right? And so when you fill out this short questionnaire, then you schedule your appointment. The cost is $69, but they take $4.20 and give it to a charity of your choice. So essentially you're paying $69 for a doctor visit, okay? That's to become a patient. when you have a consultation with your doctor and you discuss whatever your issues are, me personally, I use cannabis for PTSD, for insomnia, and I'm a recovered alcoholic, so I use cannabis to keep from relapsing. And so I discussed it with my doctor, and he said I highly recommend, cannabis, because he can't prescribe it because it's not a controlled substance, nor is it FDA approved. So it's a recommendation, not a prescription. Okay, I want to make sure that's clear. As soon as you're done and he approves you for your recommendation, in your email you will get a medical marijuana ID card, patient ID card, all right, which you can print out and use right away. You'll also get a an email of the doctor's recommendation for you. The next business day, you will get a hard copy ID in the mail with a hard copy a recommendation with the doctor's seal and license number, which is legal in all 50 states, because you are becoming a patient of California to get a recommendation for cannabis. And because of those 3 laws, it doesn't matter what state you're in. Georgia has to adhere to the Compassionate Use Act of California based off of the 4th Amendment, okay? So it's as simple as that. You get your recommendation. Once you get your recommendation, you'll go to CannaSense's website and you'll click on Become a Member, which I highly recommend, Become a Patient. You'll upload a picture ID and a copy of your doctor's recommend, right? It takes about 12 hours, depending on when you do it. Then you'll be accepted into the CannaSense Cannabis Collect. From that point, you'll have access to their apothecary. And you can get your medicine in whatever form is going to be best for you. You can get it in the flower if you smoke it. You can get it in the oils, the CBD oils. You can get it in the concentrated oil. You can get it in gel capsules. You can get it in edibles like brownies or candy bars. You can get it in the wax, okay? Myriad of different ways you can get your medicine, right? You're not put in any database. Your credit card is not flagged. You're simply purchasing your medicine. They ship out twice a week, I believe. I think it's Mondays and Wednesdays. So you'll get your medicine in the mail in a very discreet package, sealed, so nobody's going to know that you're a medical marijuana patient, and it ships straight to your door, right? And so it's absolutely a brilliant program. Now, since the foundation of the company, there hasn't been one incident of any law enforcement infractions, any arrests, anything like that, because it's legal. But in the event that you're a freak of nature or you're the exception to the rule and you do get in some type of legal trouble, you have a legal defense team that CannaSense is going to go ahead and pay for. So it's a win-win-win in every area that you can imagine. You're getting people the peace of mind to know that they're not going to get arrested for having access to their medicine. Okay? You're providing them with the documentation that will shield them from agents of the state. You're getting access to do a quick and easy purchase of your medicine, so you don't have to go to seedy neighborhoods or deal with seedy people who probably are like most people I know in Georgia, they get their cannabis from some stranger at a gas station who probably is selling crystal meth, crack, and cocaine too.
Right,
okay?
Yeah.
So you're going to help eliminate that in your neighborhoods, all right? And it's absolutely it's a beautiful program. I went through the entire process of scheduling my appointment with my consultation, getting my medical card with my recommendation, getting access to the apothecary, purchasing my medicine, and having it shipped to me within a week. All right? And as a full member, I'm able to sponsor others, and I cannot tell you, I just started doing that, and I have overwhelmingly just been filled with joy to talk to people all across the country who have cancer, who have kids with autism, who have PTSD, that are getting into this program at the drop of a hat, any hat, and it's changing their lives. It's making life bearable and livable and giving them hope again, to not have to deal with all of the red tape that comes with access to a plant.
Well, I'm in Michigan here. I'm in the medical state. We haven't got recreational yet, but we have the medical.
Okay.
So I can get a license, and I think I can, grow for myself and grow for like 12 people or something like that.
That's great, but Georgia is probably going to be the last state to acknowledge this stuff, and there's 22 other states where that's not the case. Or where people have to. they're going into a prison industrial complex for slavery, modern day slavery, because of a plant. All right. So I actually sponsored somebody into the system last night that's in a state that's completely legal, even recreational, but they know a lot of people out of state that need access, and so they wanted to get involved so they can help those people.
Yep.
And so that's what CannaSense basically is in a nutshell. There's a lot of other details to it, but some of the concerns that have come up is, and once again, this goes back to you're offering a solution, and then people come up with a million reasons why they can't do it. But, these guys, they're shipping across state lines. This is not right. This is a very public company. They're not they're not hiding in the shadows or skulking in the shadows. They have a legal defense team. They have went through the law. It's a bulletproof affirmative defense. Okay. And as far as the shipping across state lines, under the United Nations Single Treaty, they're allowed to do that. Okay, so it's not an issue. You're not going to get busted for trafficking. And when it comes to your door, if there's an issue, the government needs a warrant to check your mail. Okay, to get into your mail. And even if they do, what are they going to find? They're going to find that you have a medical marijuana patient ID card with a doctor's recommendation.
That's right.
These people who have been expressing a lot of concern and caution, I understand. But once I show you the documentation that says why this is 100% legal, and you still have some objections, it makes me scratch my head a little bit. It's because it's okay. I don't know. It's like it goes back to what we were saying. I don't know what to tell you. Here is a solution to keep you legal, to get you access to clean medicine that comes from a medical grow house and all that, shipped straight to your door. Where's the problem? What's the problem? What are you afraid of?
Yeah.
If it were Xanax or hydrocodone, you wouldn't have a problem with it.
Exactly.
You would not have a single problem with doing this online if it were painkillers. But because it's a plant, okay, all right. So that's what CannaSense is, and I started sponsoring people earlier this week, and I'm happy to do it, and I'm happy to, I've given out my phone number. The best way to reach me is through Facebook or Skype. But anybody who's listening that really wants to get in on it, go to downloadedcontent.com, click on the CannaSense Total Wellness at the top. You'll see my testimony with appropriate links to get you started. If you have trouble with it, do not hesitate to get a hold of me in any way that you can, and I will take the time to walk you through it. And the reason I'm passionate about it is because, I have suffered from PTSD, and I know the suffering that people are in out there. And I know that this helps, if not completely eliminates PTSD in my case for the most part. I know people who have cancer. I know people who have autism. I'm not saying because I can't, I'm not a doctor, that this stuff is the cure. But, come on, man. There's not a day that goes by that a new study doesn't come out talking about the benefits in every area for cannabis use.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening, don't hesitate. Don't put it off. Because especially if you already are a cannabis user and you're in a state where it's illegal, if you put this off and you go to, say, get your medicine 2 days from now and you get pulled over and arrested, and then you go, oh, my God, I wish I would have got on CannaSense when I heard it. Don't do that to yourself.
Exactly.
Don't do that to yourself. Do it. Yep. Do it right now so you can get covered, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, any questions?
Well, hope you don't have any kind of problem doing this again tomorrow.
Nope, not at all, man. Not at all.